We're joined by Mr. Anthony Igbase, who is a legal practitioner as well as a safety and security advocate. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
It's solutions now everybody wants to see. You have been involved in some sort of negotiations, discussions about how do we end all of this, and this was with President Obama. Give us a background to all of this and what you arrived at.
Well, since the insurgency or the Boko Haram issue started in Nigeria, and as you know, it kept escalating. And with the kidnapping of the 200 girls or the Chibok girls, it actually brought the issue to the doorstep of the whole world. And we in the diaspora, especially in the United States, we felt that we should be able to do something about it. I did not think Nigeria as a country was doing enough to push the issue, and I believed I could at least find out what was going on. I read in the papers that there was a United States embargo on helping Nigeria with military assistance. And on the other hand, there was the argument that Nigeria did not want to seek assistance from the United States because that would tilt Nigeria to the west when half of Nigeria is a Muslim country. So I decided to, first of all, meet with the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, and try to discuss the issue. And of course, I thanked her for bringing the issue to the world stage because she, as you know, she hold the plaque, bring back our girls.
The issue of the Chibok girls.
Of the Chibok girls. So I thanked her, and I let her know that we need more assistance from her husband, okay, who I refer to as the guy at the top. Okay, so I went by the Africa way of doing things by going through the wife. I know the wife will be able to push a better case for you. So she couldn't really speak to that because she doesn't talk about national security issues. But I knew I could reach the president also. So I decided to reach President Obama. So we discussed the issues extensively. What Mr. Obama told me was the problem in Nigeria, the way he sees it, is that if the Nigerian government were to go in full force against Boko Haram, it will be interpreted as one section of the country going against the other section. Okay. But in my conversation with the President Obama, I realized that what he actually wanted was the African countries, or the countries affected, forming a coalition and going after the insurgency. With that, the United States will be comfortable lending assistance, just like they are doing in the Middle East.
I don't understand that part, wherein he says if the government at the time were to go against full force against Boko Haram, it will be interpreted out there as one section going against another. But you'd have thought that they should have known better. They have access to a lot of this information. They could dissect it and see that, look, yes, that may be the impression, but that exactly is not the case.
Well, I don't agree with you on that. If you think they have more assets than we do, I don't believe that. Because you are talking about foreigners, especially, well, the Department of State, as you know, that is in charge of the foreign affairs. Foreigners coming here understanding your country better than you do. No.
So if we go against Boko Haram, They'll think we're going against another section.
Well,
That's the part that I don't get.
What I believe that meant is, you should understand the president at the time was a Christian from the South. So if he were to go full force against Boko Haram in the North, it will be interpreted as the southern part of the country going against the northern part of the country. But I believe he was wrong, though. But that is obviously what he got from the Department of State. Okay. And when he suggested, or when he stated that what he wanted to see, when I say he, the president, not President Obama, what he wanted to see was the countries affected forming a coalition. You should understand, most of these countries affected are Muslims, Muslim countries. Okay. But my point is, we shouldn't let foreigners think for us. Okay. He was right in that aspect. Okay. I totally agree with him.
Because
that the countries affected should form a coalition.
Is that the same coalition we are getting to see now?
That is what you're getting to see now. So we should have seen that before the United States or President Obama saw it. Okay. So if you had gotten the countries affected together and they figure out a way on how to deal with that issue, we won't be where we are.
Did you, sorry, Jim, did you, after that meeting, speak to anyone in government in Nigeria with the suggestion as well as, ideas you've been able to get from that meeting with President Obama that, look, wait a minute, this is what he thinks about Nigeria getting into a coalition with its neighbors to fight the insurgency?
Yes, actually I did. And if you're talking about someone in government, probably no, because it's easier for me to probably talk to elected officials in the United States than to talk to elected officials here, for obvious reasons. But I did talk to former President Obasanjo. Okay. I was fortunate enough, I was honored to meet him, and we had a lengthy conversation.
Where was that meeting, in Nigeria or the United States?
Well, we actually flew from Atlanta, I believe, to Lagos together. For 12 hours, we have an interactive section where we discuss these issues in detail. And I've also met with him again since then in his residence in Otta. And in my meeting with the president, President Obasanjo, he actually told me all the efforts he had made trying to broker the issue of Boko Haram, the insurgency, and the meetings he had with former President Goodluck Jonathan, and all the suggestions that he made were not taken. So but I believe him.
Where are we now? I mean, because President Goodluck Jonathan,
all that has changed.
Is out of office. You have a new president, and Nigerians are looking to him for solutions. This bombings now, it was saying that they are on a daily basis. I mean, just 2 days ago, was it Sunday, over 44 people were killed. You know, yesterday, how many people did we get again in Kano? And we're praying that no other one goes off, but people are not sure what the future is. So what do you think are the solutions right now? What are some of the solutions that you think, that were suggested and that could still be implemented now?
Well, the solutions are many. Okay, so I don't think we can go into that in this program, in this short program.
But let's go through some of them.
Let's go through some of them.
Yeah.
As you know, shortly before President Jonathan left office, there was increase in the fight against the insurgency. Okay. That did have an effect. Okay. What is now happening is surgical strikes by the insurgents, by Boko Haram. Prior to now, they were taking territories. They were taking villages. But now, is surgical strikes. Okay. That is expected. How do you combat that? Intelligence. Okay. Someone is obviously dropping the ball. Don't tell me in a country like Nigeria, or an African country, where you have communal living, where families know families, neighbors know their neighbors, that you can't have the intelligence to know the stranger in town. I mean, that baffles me. So it's intelligence. Israel is one of the safest countries in the Middle East, but has more enemies around it. But it's safe because of intelligence.
So what do you think we should be doing now?
We should be doing that. And we should ask countries like Israel, the United States, on how to do that.
Aren't you doing that already?
Are we?
Well,
You don't
which
think-
you think we are?
I understand the President Buhari's meeting with President Obama, but I would like him to stress on that fact. I would like him to stress on that. Tap on the United States intelligence capability. Find out how it is done. Get assistance in that area. Okay. Even President Obama just said, going to the solutions, even President Obama just said this morning, a day ago, that the fight on ideology can only be won by better ideology. Okay. So how do you go about that? I believe that is true. Okay. But how do you go about that? Educate people. Okay. Free education for every Nigerian child.
So that would be the direct response to
It's a
the
direct
ideology.
response. Enforce it. If the law is already there, enforce that every child be educated. Enforce the law. Okay. Create opportunities. Provide infrastructure in the areas. Open up the economy.
Okay, but could you tell us, what's your own understanding, from all the people you've spoken to and what you've been able to glean from so much that has been said? Because you have to identify the root cause before you can then address and attack it. What do you think that cause is?
Well, the root cause, in my opinion, I think is hopelessness.
Hopelessness.
Hopelessness. Lack of opportunities. Lack of infrastructure. That is what I believe. Okay. Even though it is an ideological war, but ideology is based on something. It's based on the opportunity that people have to tap into that ideology, seeing that as their only hope, as their only way out.
All right, we'll have to thank you very much indeed for talking to us on this matter. Mr. Anthony Egbase is a legal practitioner, also, as you heard, a safety and security advocate. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much.